Yeah!
What's up, everybody? It's Praetorian Guard Day, and we're going to be looking at Praetorian Guards today because Praetorian Guards are the day's figures that we're going to be Praetorian Guard. But seriously, this is what we'll be looking at today, and that's your skit for today because I'm out of ideas and I got too many troopers to do. So, this is the Amazon exclusive. This is on loan to me from Andy P. Shout out to him. He's also let me look at a lot of stuff here, supposedly, as they come in and whatnot. Some people might be excited about. I think that, well, we'll see. As a little clue, you'll get an idea tomorrow. Sorry, I was picking up something off the ground. So this is the Amazon exclusive First Order Trooper Heavy Gunner. I've seen the Figuarts one. We've looked at it here, obviously. And this guy has no shortage of accessories. And we are going to look at those right now. So he comes with the elements that make up the gun itself. The stand for the gun. The gun is a single, the stand is a single piece. We have black paint on white plastic, and the black paint is done dodgy at best, at least around the edges. Inside here, it's actually done quite well. I'm not sure why they could get this right and couldn't make clean lines down in there. But whatever. And then we have a black plastic stand, and then we have the gun itself with a hinging eyepiece, which is nice, and then we have black paint on white plastic throughout. The black paint, once again, is dodgy sometimes where it has to end at certain segments of the gun. Nice sculpt work, though. I like that a lot of sculpt work in there. Could have used some dry brushing and stuff, but a lot of the First Order stuff looks really clean, so ultimately, I guess I'm okay with it. So you can stick this into the whatever, and then you can stick this into here, and then you can have the gun kind of freestanding. I'll be honest with you, it doesn't, let me see, so that's like that, and then we'll take this out, and it stands fine on its own, so I don't even feel like this is truly necessary. He comes with two guns, the same that all of them do, white paint, black plastic. The black is done much better here. It's fine. Once again, it can plug into his thigh, and he can hold it. And then we have the more traditional rifle, black paint on white plastic. The eye scope is really warped, but other than that, the black paint is done well, and he can hold that and actually holds that much better. You can also make him a riot trooper. He comes with the same shield that we've seen before, black paint and silver paint added to all the studs, and then the black paint around the triangle. And on the back, they even put some black paint, which is nice and not necessarily expected. And that would go on his forearm, and then he comes with his traitor baton. We have black paint, red paint, silver paint, all on white plastic, decent sculpt and decent application. And then these pieces swivel around so that it can kind of be, you know, activated. And he can hold both of those just fine. He comes with a set of binoculars, white plastic, black paint added to it with the exception of the middle piece, which is solid black. These are all on kind of tension hinges here. So black paint is all, this is done fairly clean as well, and it can fold up. I'm not sure if I saw any of them use these in the movie. Maybe they use them in Last Jedi. We'll have to wait and see. I'm trying to get this sit-down Saturday done that's Star Wars related for this week, just as a celebration. And when else am I going to have the opportunity? And we'll see how that goes, but I'm excited to do it. I don't know why I brought that up. So you can get him to hold this, but it's not the best fit. And these pieces have a tendency to lose tension and come off of the hinge here. But he can technically do it. And if you have it kind of like using gravity, it won't be an issue. However, getting him to hold him up to his eyes is going to be a little bit more tricky due to the limitations in the elbows and the wrists. And then lastly, he comes with the three components that make up his vest. We have the vest itself, which actually holds together fairly well on the figure with white paint added to the black plastic, and the white paint is done fairly well as well, which is not always the case. Then we have this pack of pouches, pack of pampas. That's an inside joke. But you can clip this around the strap. All right, I'll tell you the inside joke. So my wife and I, when we were pregnant with our first kid, we were watching a lot of like stuff about, you know, what to expect when expecting type of shows. And there was this one on, what is that? There was this one on there with this commercial that would always play. It was like this donation thing. So you make this donation and they donate money to, you know, starving kids around the world or what have you. But the lady that was doing it, I think it was Penelope Cruz, maybe. She said in this one part, she would always be like, just a simple pack of pampas. And my wife and I used to say it all the time. We were getting diapers out for the baby. Anyway, yeah, the backpack with a plug here, black paint added, which is done really well and sharp. They must have used all their skills here before they got to the guns and such. And then this plugs into his back there, and then this goes around the figure. And so in the end, there he is all armed up, and I think that's totally believable. I think that the modular aspect really works. Honestly, I have my issues with this figure, which we're getting ready to get to. But overall, I think what they were trying to do here was accomplished extremely well and much better than I would have expected. So let's look at the figure. Now, we've looked at this figure at least twice now, so we're going to look at it with this stuff on just to see how it impedes articulation as we fly through it. I'm going to talk about the detailings really quick. For the most part, it's either black plastic or white plastic with either black paint or white paint added to it. So we'll go through real quick. The paint on the visor and head all looks sharp and good. Nice solid work there. We have black paint added to the white plastic here. That looks good. These pieces are glued on. White plastic onto black plastic, and then we have, oh no, yeah, and then maybe this, I guess this is paint, I guess this is white plastic and they painted that black. Doesn't seem right, but interesting. And then we have, you know, some black paint added to white plastic down here, black paint added to white plastic. It's pretty much par for the course. Black paint there, black paint around the edges of the undersuit underneath the armor. Same for the backside and for the weapons and accessories and all that sort of stuff, for little pouches and whatnot. So let's take a look. So the head is on a ball peg, which gets you down to there. Not really anything up, and then a swivel, not really impinged at all by the added pouches. We get a disc hinge shoulder that gets you 90 degrees and is really well sculpted so that the shoulder armor actually goes into the chest cavity. That's always worked well. No biceps. Oh, you get the swivel around as well. No bicep swivel, but you do get it at the elbow. The elbow still sucks because it gets you less than 90 degrees, and that is because they put the hinge on the elbow too close to this side of the armor instead of being in the middle. It's been a problem since day one, and they still refuse to fix it. Wrist swivel, hinge in, out. Everything same for the other side, including the stupid elbow. We have a ball peg for the diaphragm joint, not really affected at all by the pouches and stuff. Now, it can come unstrapped, and I have a problem with that staying on as well. Once you get them posed, it'll be fine. This can come. What is going on with me today? Tongue-tied, am I right? This does and can come undone while manipulating this, but as you can see, I'm doing it right now, and there's no issues whatsoever, so that's cool, and you get the swivel, no issues. We have ball pegs, T-jointed ball pegs. No, am I wrong about that? No, I'm right. T-jointed ball pegs for hips that get you out to there, which is kind of limited. Forward to there, back to there. Thigh swivel at a cut joint, double jointed knee, ankle tilt up, not really, tilt down a fair bit that won't get you much help in any poses, and a rocker. So sort of this, you know, business as usual, and the good news is the extra stuff doesn't really affect it whatsoever. It already has enough limitations. There it is next to the Figuarts one. This Figuarts one definitely blows the Hasbro one out of the water, but as you can see on a shelf, you know, it should blend in fairly well, but it is interesting to see the two side by side. Final thoughts-wise, as far as the figure's concerned, there's really nothing new here. It's the same limitations per usual, and everything else is kind of done up to the standard that you would expect. I think the accessories are really smart and inclusive, and they all work well, with the exception of the binoculars, but that's not really the binoculars' fault, though, is it? You know how I feel about Troopers. You can never really have enough, and variety is the spice of life, so ultimately, I do feel as though it's worth it, but if you were only going to get one, I'd recommend the Figuarts 110% over this one. That being said, the accessories, which is really what's new here, are actually well done and add a fair bit to this figure, including making him look more interesting and natural. So this is a recommend from me ultimately at the end of the day. Just don't expect anything great about this figure. There was not much to begin with in the first place. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.